Losers of the night, Stank. We got to give losers of the night. All right. And you know what? Raheem Jarrett.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yep.
played some meaningful minutes over the last couple of years for us. Okay. Where's number 18, which for whatever reason I feel like is a number I root for inherently as a wide receiver on this team? Back to the Sammy Strouder days. Okay. I don't know why, but if you have 18 and you're a wide receiver, I feel like I should root for you. But I'm sorry, Raheem Jarrett. It looks like it's the end of the line, buddy. I don't think this guy's making the team, which is crazy to say considering Cameron Johnson, Trey Palmer, even Tez Johnson to an extent have not played a lot of time in the preseason or in camp. And yet here we are with, Sammy Strouder 2.0. Not making plays. Not making plays.
He's not making the team. I just can't see it. I think he knows that too, and he's just not. He's not. Like, unfortunately, he's been replaced. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you're still going out there putting tape on for other teams, right? Everyone's evaluating everyone, right? The Steelers are watching that, thinking, do we have a wide receiver 6 buried on this team's practice squad or cut list that we could possibly add on one day? Who knows? Another loser of the night.
So many other names. There's Naughty Miller. There's Green. There's guys that
and
that
dudes
you can argue deserve it more. And Raheem, even though he's been a good performer when he's had the opportunity in the preseason, I don't know. I think he's definitely
the other one too that we did forget about, man, was for the winners list. I forgot to mention Nick Action Jackson. Okay, yeah. 2 weeks in a row now, coming up with a sack.
The linebackers in general. What, Antonio Greer Jr. had a fucking exactly.
Pick. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Deion Jones played well.
We didn't really show. You know what? Winners of the night. Let's add that back. One more. Inside linebackers. Almost all of them. All right. Servatier Dennis looks like if we get a healthy version of him the entire year with the mix of Greer with Action Jackson, who's 100% making this fucking team, by the way, and he's gonna fucking get some minutes with the way he's playing. Like we might have some secret strength in that position group that we weren't expecting, especially after they didn't draft guys in that spot. Went after a couple undrafted dudes, but yeah, going backwards a little bit in our discussion. Winners of the night, inside linebacker crew for sure, for sure. Another loser of the night, Kyle Trask.
Oh yeah,
Kyle Trask. Dude, I mean, 19 yards, dude.
He was what? Hey Kyle,
3 for 8, 3 for 9, 19 yards.
Stunk, sir. That was bad.
Just bad. Just no zip. No, like it didn't look like he even wanted to be out there. I mean, was he pouting? Stink? Did he pout? Was he pouting? Was he unhappy about even playing behind those guys?
I think so. I think he expected that after his performance last week, he was on a high, and maybe he needed this. Okay. Maybe this is, maybe Kyle's ego was too big this week. And fucking Bowles saw that shit. Kyle was walking through the fucking locker room, eyeballing motherfuckers, and talking shit. And like, Baker, you're a pussy. Why aren't you playing in the preseason? That's kind of what I heard through the grapevine.
And then they try him out there and they tell him, hey, by the way, Teddy's getting the start. And he just started foot stomping from that moment forward. I mean, he was foot stomping in the huddle, if you look back.
Yeah, and we're going to put a guy that's never played tackle before in the NFL out there to protect your blind side immediately. So how about them apples, Kyle? And Kyle just got served a little bit of humble pie. I think that's like, mission accomplished, Todd. You did your job because Kyle looked shaken and stirred out there. So he definitely deserves. He should have been number 1 on the list.
Yeah, he should have. You're right.
That was terrible.
You know what? You know who else was the loser of the night for me, man? And I hate to say this because I don't think it's entirely his fault, and I don't think he's going to play like this throughout the season because he does have some fire on his ass right now. But you got to put Jamel Dean in there, man. Not a good night for Jamel Dean. Not a good night for the Jamel Dean supporters. You kind of put me in that group. I do tend to root for the kid, but I mean Jacob Parrish is right there, man. So gotta get your shit together. You got I even like Hall's supposed to be a guy that makes his team, in my opinion. And I do like when he does play. He's a little bit longer, typical Todd Bowles type guy. And of course, you got Benjamin Morrison. So when that guy comes back, how long of a leash does Jamel Dean actually have, considering he's not the future of this team in that spot? And I guess you could add the O-line in there, Stank. The O-line just stunk.
Yeah, we talked about the O-line.
Yeah,
I'm going to throw a couple names in there. I'm going to put Charlie Heck on there. Listen, bro, I don't want to see any of that out of you. Okay, I don't want to see any of that. Maybe you play better the rest of the game. I don't go through and YouTube scout games and watch all 22s. So I'll take the word of the guys who do that to say that you end up having a solid performance for the rest of the night. I really wasn't focusing on you, but don't do that. Unacceptable. Can't happen ever. ever, and do better. So you got to be on that list. I'm going to go with, we didn't talk about Braswell. He deserved to be a winner this week. Braswell absolutely stood the fuck up.
Yeah,
after being the one who was, under the bus last week, everybody's questioning his performance. Is he a bust? Does he deserve to be here? Braswell is another guy you could put at the top of that list. But everybody else in that second rotation, all of those guys, no pass rush, no push up the middle, Watts, Ramirez, like all those guys. Like, where the fuck are you guys? You're playing against second, third, fourth string guys. You've been here for years now. Like, you should be doing something. The green and fucking Gaines and all the other guys in the middle, but it doesn't inspire any confidence in me because I don't see talent. I just see Jags. I just see guys out there.
Yeah, I mean, Rondé said it. He said these guys have been guys historically that do well in preseason games, but when they get action in real life NFL games, they don't do anything. And I think that's what they are. That's all they are. They're not going to be. And so that drop off from Yaya and Reddick to Anthony Nelson, who didn't play in that game because of I think a late injury during the week. He should be okay. Anthony Nelson and Chris Braswell, these guys going to have to play really, really well. And they're going to have to also stay healthy, those two guys, because, I don't want to see who the fuck they're going to trot out otherwise, unless they have some fucking Trey Hendrickson trade surprise that they haven't whipped out yet, which might still happen. Who knows? His value apparently is plummeting now. So if, Bengals don't have much to stand on. So you never know. But outside of that hypothetical stink, yeah, I mean, we're going to lean heavily on Anthony Nelson and Chris Braswell, or figure out a way to keep the other dudes on the field longer, which I'm hoping is what we're going to try to do. Try to keep those guys out there, maybe mix in the second guys a little bit with Vita and Cansey together, hopefully still in there to maybe, I can't see the hockey shift shit again because I'll fucking lose my mind.
No,
especially with Chris Braswell.
Something has changed, right? We can all look at this preseason. You know that Todd Bowles has turned it up. I don't think they're going to play that passive style, sit back, play underneath, don't get bait deep. Play all this off coverage shit. I think Todd realizes, man, through attrition, he's wearing these guys down, and we just don't have the depth to play a bench. We don't have a deep bench. So go into your rotations. We've been injury bitten, right? The snake bitten, whatever you want to call it, especially in the secondary, at other positions too. I think Todd realizes that. So I hope he does throw caution to the wind a whole lot more. And you can see it's fruited itself here in the preseason. We've got fucking turnovers left and right.
Hands on
balls.
We
won the game with a fucking turnover. Hands on balls all over the place. So that will help us stay off the field, hopefully, help us see less of the rotational guys. And maybe this defense can start adding to the fucking scoreboard a little bit and putting this offense on short fields and doing it during the regular seasons.